5 minutes to master diabetes self-care, because glycemic control isn't just a lab value, it's a daily habit that impacts overall health. UG exams frequently feature this topic, and real patients critically need this knowledge for better health outcomes. Effective self-care significantly reduces complications, hospitalizations, and healthcare costs, transforming you into a crisp, confident counselor. Self-care encompasses the day-to-day actions taken by individuals with diabetes to maintain blood sugar levels within target ranges and prevent complications. Think of it as 4 essential pillars supporting a robust safety net. Pillar 1 is medical nutrition therapy, aiming for balanced calories, a slow glycemic rise, heart-healthy fats, and adequate protein intake. The basics involve the plate method: half vegetables, a quarter protein, and a quarter cereals or millets. Prefer whole grains, pulses, and salads, while limiting refined carbohydrates, sugary drinks, and trans fats. Consistent carbohydrate intake aids in timing medications and insulin effectively. Limit salt intake to less than 5 grams per day and fats to approximately 30% of total calories, with a preference for monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. In India, swap made with whole wheat or millet and choose baked or steamed foods over fried options. Pillar 2 focuses on physical activity, targeting at least 150 minutes per week of moderate aerobic exercise. Additionally, incorporate 2 to 3 days per week of resistance training and break up prolonged sitting every 30 to 60 minutes. Examples include brisk walking, cycling, stair climbing, and resistance exercises with bands or body weight. A pre-exercise snack is advisable if there's a risk of hypoglycemia, especially for those on insulin or sulfonylureas. Pillar 3 covers medications and insulin use, where adherence involves correct timing, dosage, and technique. Oral agents should be taken as advised, often with meals such as metformin. For insulin, verify the type, basal, bolus, or premix, and rotate injection sites among the abdomen, thigh, and arm. Inject at a 90-degree angle with short needles for most adults and count to 10 before withdrawing the pen. Unopened insulin should be stored at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, while in-use pens can be kept at room temperature, avoiding heat or direct sunlight. Never freeze insulin. Dispose of sharps in a puncture-proof container and never recap needles. Pillar 4 involves monitoring and targets, including self-monitoring of blood glucose or SMBG. Initially, monitor fasting and post-meal levels, increasing frequency if on insulin or during sick days. Typical exam targets are fasting 80 to 130 milligrams per deciliter, 2-hour post-meal less than 180 milligrams per deciliter, and an HbA1c of approximately less than 7%. These targets should be individualized for elderly patients or those with comorbidities. Always maintain a logbook or use a dedicated app to track your readings. Now, let's discuss the safety net covering hypoglycemia, sick day rules, foot, eye, and kidney care, and lifestyle risks. Hypoglycemia signs include tremor, sweating, hunger, and confusion. The Rule 15 to 15 dictates taking 15 grams of fast-acting carbohydrates, such as 3 teaspoons of sugar in water, half a glass of juice, or 3 glucose tablets. Recheck your blood glucose in 15 minutes and repeat if needed, then have a snack if your next meal is more than 1 hour away. Severe hypoglycemia requires glucagon, if available, and immediate hospital care. For sick day rules, during fever, vomiting, or infection, do not stop insulin. Check glucose every 4 to 6 hours and ketones if you have type 1 diabetes. Maintain fluid intake and consume easily digestible carbohydrates. Seek medical care for persistent vomiting, high ketones, drowsiness, or blood glucose above 300 mg per deciliter unresponsive to correction. Foot care involves daily inspection using a mirror for hard-to-see areas. Wash, dry, and moisturize your feet, but avoid moisturizing between the toes. Never walk barefoot, always wear proper footwear and cut nails straight across. Test bath water with your elbow and report any blisters, calluses, or non-healing wounds early. Undergo an annual foot exam more frequently if neuropathy is present. For eye and kidney care, have a dilated fundus exam at the diagnosis of type 2 diabetes or after 5 years in type 1 diabetes, then annually. Also, check urine albumin to creatinine ratio and estimated glomerular filtration rate at least annually. Regarding vaccinations and risk factors, get an influenza vaccine annually and pneumococcal and hepatitis B as per schedule. Crucially, avoid all tobacco use, practice alcohol moderation, and prioritize stress and sleep hygiene. Special situations include fasting, such as during festivals or Ramadan. Pre-fast review, dose adjustments, and SMBG are acceptable during the fast. Break the fast for hypoglycemia below 70 mg per deciliter or severe hyperglycemia. For travel, keep medications, insulin, and glucometer in your cabin bag and plan for time zone dose adjustments. Pregnancy requires tighter targets and specialist care. Let's review key exam points and mnemonics to help you remember these vital concepts. Use the mnemonic DIBETES care. D stands for diet, focusing on the plate method and increased fiber. I is for insulin and other medications, emphasizing correct technique and storage at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. A represents activity, targeting at least 150 minutes per week plus resistance training. B is for blood glucose monitoring, including FPG, PPG, and HbA1c targets. E signifies emergency, specifically hypoglycemia and a 15 to 15 rule. T is for tobacco and alcohol, advocating to stop or limit their use. The next T covers eyes and excretory system, meaning annual retina exams and ACR ETFR checks. S stands for sick day rules, guiding management during illness. C is for challan, referring to maintaining a logbook or records. A is for ankles and feet, emphasizing daily care. R is for renal retinal risk control, including blood pressure and statin management as advised. Finally, E is for education and follow-up, encouraging family involvement. Frequently asked questions in Viva or SUC include defining diabetes self-care and listing its components. You may also be asked to explain hypoglycemia management or demonstrate insulin injection technique and site rotation. Counseling on foot care and sick day rules and stating routine monitoring intervals are also common topics. To quickly recap, remember the 4 pillars: diet, activity, medicines, and monitoring. Plus, the safety net covers hypoglycemia, sick day rules, foot, eye, and kidney care, vaccinations, and lifestyle risks. Teach the 15 to 15 rule, proper insulin storage at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, and the importance of never walking barefoot. Emphasize annual retina and ACR ETFR checks, and always individualize targets. Document, review, and repeat these essential self-care practices. Patient ko sikhoge, complications ko rokoge, simple. Educating patients prevents complications, it's that simple. A 2-minute structured counseling session at the OPD can save a foot, a kidney, and a fortune. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more high-yield medical content.